Hey, beautiful. So, I want to speak to this because this is really important and it's something that I think I talk about a lot to people with. And I don't think I've really done a video to an extent about it. So, um, what I want to share here, I'm going to use an example that, with permission, I've been able to use, which I'm very, very grateful because. She asked me these questions and I answered, and I was like, oh, I could talk about this in the group and live stream. So very, very grateful to you, Joe, for allowing me to speak to this. Um, I asked her to post it in the group as well. And then when I was talking to her and explaining it, I was like, oh, do you mind me sharing this? So awesome. I'm so grateful to be able to share this. However, I kind of just need my other phone. Oh, actually, maybe I can open this up. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so she said, I have trouble during meditation and was hoping you could give me help or advice. My mind is constantly drifting to other things, and then so the meditation doesn't make sense when I drift back. For example, I remember hugging the crystal, and then when I came back, you were talking about the scrolls, and I would try and make sense of it and then drift again, and then it was the end. She said, is there something I can do to keep focus? It just feels like I haven't even meditated, so I'm not getting the healing benefits or releasing the traumas. And it was a brilliant question because this happens quite a lot with people, right? And so whether you're doing the 21-day quantum trauma shift, like whether you're doing the quantum trauma shifter meditation or any other meditation of mine or anybody else's, this is such an important, like, it's so important, this piece, right? So my mind is constantly drifting to other things, and then so the meditation doesn't make sense when I drift back. For example, I remember hugging the crystal, and then when I came back to consciousness, you were talking about the scrolls, and then I trying to make sense and it drift again, and then it was the end. Okay, number one, the drifting is what I sort of explained it to her is like the trance-like state. Okay, and the drifting is actually you're traveling. Now, some people call that astral traveling. I just call it traveling. You know, I don't really believe we need to leave our body. It's like the mental plane traveling, right? It's just you're traveling, right? Your consciousness is traveling. And I want to say you're in the journey. Now, really important points here is that whenever you do a meditation, the entire thing and the entire experience is the meditation. So the mind drifting is part of the meditation, okay? And then it's also in the part of like, you didn't drift and not remember. What your training now is, okay? And this is where we take your skills up a notch, okay? And you're practicing. Remember, I always talk about practice, practice, practice. And as we practice these things, the skills get greater and greater, right? Like your muscles get greater. The more you go to the gym, the stronger you get, right? And so the more we meditate, the more these things grow, if that makes sense. So, um, okay, so the mind drifting is then the next level skill to this is like your mind might have drifted, but you're witnessing your mind drifting. Does that make sense? There's like two parts of you here. There's the part of you that's drifting, and then there's a part of you that's still here watching that. Okay? And so your skill here is to, I want to say, strengthen these two parts, right? There's a part of you that travels and does all the meditation, and then there's a part of you that's watching you do all that. Yeah? And so it's not that one's good, bad, right, or wrong. And it's not that you might be like, oh no, how do I do this? And I'm like, you just keep meditating and you keep doing these meditations and you keep practicing and you keep practicing. Yeah. The more you do it, the more these skills become refined and you'll start to understand these pieces. So number one, that drifting, there's like two parts, and you're witnessing that drifting and doing all the things and coming back. Yeah. Now, I remember hugging the crystal. And then when I came back, you were talking about scrolls and I tried to make sense of it, and then it's the end. Now, I asked permission if I could share, because we spoke in the private message and I just said, do you mind me sharing this other bit of information? Because she said, okay, so I was hugging the crystal and then I drifted to stuff happening at home. And when I came back, you were talking about scrolls. And I didn't understand because I missed the meditation and what you were saying because I was traveling to the home. My mind drifted to stuff at home, and then I came back and I was like, I missed the meditation. So let me explain. again, the whole journey is the meditation. I was hugging the crystal, and then my mind wandered off to stuff going on at home. Ugh, wasn't concentrating. And then I came back and you're talking about the scrolls. Fuck, I missed it. No, I was hugging the crystal. The crystal energy was healing the stuff at home. And when I came back, you were talking about the scrolls because it was rewriting the stuff that was going on. And so the healing was complete. I'm covered in goosebumps as I say that because it's so fucking powerful. Like, it's so powerful, right? So powerful. And when I explained all that, she's like, oh, I feel so much better about drifting off now. Okay, I can drift off. Because the more you drift off, right? And now you understand there's like the drifting off part, but you're still here witnessing you drifting off, okay? Even though you might not have been conscious of that to start with, it is that, right? And so now when you drift off, you'll drift off, but you're also conscious there's a part of you witnessing, and then you're doing all the work, you're doing all the journey, okay? And the crystal was healing that part of the stuff that was going on at home, or you could have been thinking about a relationship, and this is your soul showing you what needs the healing, right? So it could have been home, could have been, just giving examples now, this is not Joe, for example, but it could have been your career, could have been your love life, could have been something, I don't know, going on 10 years ago that came back to memory, like that's what's healing in the moment, right? And then when you came back, you're rewriting the scrolls is that, like you're now getting the gift. I think in the meditation, it's like understanding your purpose or something. In that particular one, don't quote me, I have to go back and re-listen. And it's like you're rewriting it, and or it's like now you understand the purpose of why all that happens, and the crystal healed that, like complete. Covered in goosebumps. Yeah. So I just wanted to check it. Yeah. So is there something I can do to keep focus? And I'm like, well, you are focusing, right? And this is the thing where I think, it's just all learning, right? That people in general, we're taught to meditate like on a mainstream level, if you may, and it's like this what I'm teaching you now is the intricacies of understanding your intuition, because it's kind of like, oh, my mind drifted off, and it's kind of like, well, this is just understanding the language of your intuition. Now everyone might receive things differently, okay, but now you understand these intricate parts. It's kind of like understanding that the crystal energy was then healing through the home and then came back to the scrolls and rewriting. It's like the whole journey again, yeah. But it's like understanding the language of your intuition, or what crystals do in the meditation, or different parts of the meditation, and why we journey to certain parts is because we are literally rewriting the trauma, if you may, in those pieces. The crystal, so whenever in any of my meditations, if it's like a crystal, you'll notice in my meditations, I rarely tell you what crystal it is. I rarely tell you what being it is or spirit guide. Sometimes I do. I might give examples and I'm like, what is it? It could be any of these, or what are you seeing? It could be any of these. And I do take you to certain places in journeys for sure. But a lot of the time when I ask you, I'm like, what crystal is it? Or what colors do you see? Or what colors are you feeling? Or what sounds do you hear? Like, I do that on purpose. Why? Because I'm getting you to tune in with your intuition rather than me feeding you information, right? And this strengthens your intuition so that you can start to see it, right? And people are like, I can't see. And I'm like, stop saying that. It's an affirmation. You don't want a negative affirmation. I'm starting to see more. Now, this is another crucial piece that a lot of people miss, okay? You always hear me harp on about take time to write down after the meditation what came through. A lot of people don't do it, okay? I'm going to show you right now because this is so, so important. Now, I always say have your sacred journal, okay? Sorry, I should have planned this, but I didn't plan this depth of live stream. But this is so important. I'm like, have your sacred journal, have your colors, have your whatever it is, have them handy. If you've got paints, awesome. If you don't have paints, have colors. So I'm just going to give you some examples here, okay? Have your sacred journal. Could look like this. Proper sacred journal stuff. How cool are these, right? These things are so cool. I love these leather bound ones, right? Oh my God, with the old school paper. Is it old school paper? I don't know. It could be as simple as this. It could be as simple as, I got a lot of different ones, right? And they're all handy. See how they're handy for a reason? And then I've just got this normal pad one, right? All for different purposes. So have your sacred journal, whatever that looks like for you. It could be as well, it could be something that I always have close by. Don't just hang on, it is close by, it'll be somewhere here. Is also, ta-da, told you it was close by. You've probably seen me do this. I always have close by, or this one, simple, what's it called? Clipboard, yeah, with just paper. Oops, it's got a piece of cardboard on there as well, that one. Just paper. I usually have thick pieces of paper, but I've used them all. I always have them handy. I always have these handy. So I've just got a box of, these are colored pencils. These are oil pastels. So you can go to like a $2 shop and you can buy oil pastels for like $2, I don't know, maybe $8, whatever, right? And then I just always have them. I've always had them in the box. If you want to get a bit more fancy, I found this really cool thing, because I like all the stationery things. This little cool, thing that I've got all my colored textures in, felt markers, whatever you want to call them. Every country seems to call them something different. Or pencils, or if you don't have all the extravagance of that, at least have something handy that's color. This is like the most crucial thing that people miss, okay? When you want to strengthen your intuition, when you want to understand your intuition, when you want to do all these pieces of your intuition, we can meditate and we can understand the intricacies of like just exactly like what I'm talking about, right? Of all the things I just explained to you in examples. The most crucial part of strengthening these intuitive muscles, okay, is writing it down. Now, a lot of people are like, I didn't get anything. I didn't see anything. And I'm like, get your pen and write. You know what I'm going to say, right? Right. I did not get anything in that meditation. You write the name of the meditation, you write the date, really important, name of the meditation and the date, and then you write, I did not get anything. And as soon as you finish writing that, I guarantee you'll have a memory and you'll be like, oh, I saw purple. Oh, and a unicorn, actually. Oh, and a star. And then you get the like purple and you're like, oh, I saw purple. Or maybe that's more like pink. Oh, I saw purple. I would be doing this on the desk, obviously. I saw purple. There we go. There's more dark purple. See these are really cool, right? Because I've got the piece of paper on there. What's it called? The thing about these oil pastels, I just took that off, that bit of thing. The awesome thing about these pastels is you can go like this. I actually saw purple, and we can color in this whole thing of purple like this. Yeah, I saw purple. I saw purple. That's right, and I saw the unicorn. I don't know how to draw a unicorn, but I actually saw a purple unicorn. And then you'd be like, oh, I saw a unicorn. Can you guys see what I'm doing? I saw a unicorn. Here's its, oh, maybe that's like its thing. I don't know. How do I draw a unicorn? I don't actually know. How do I draw a horse? I don't fucking know. But I can sort of start to see, I can start to see the legs in just those other bits that I've done there. Oh my gosh, look at this. Here's its eye. I don't know, there's something here. Oh my gosh, it's got big reins here. Oh, I saw a fucking unicorn and I saw yellow stars. Oh my gosh. Wow. So there goes. I didn't get anything in that meditation. Can you guys see how important this is? I saw a purple fucking unicorn actually, and I remember that unicorn told me that I need to trust my intuition. Oh, so that was the message. So not only did you just draw that, and you've written, you wrote the 21-day quantum trauma shifter, because I'm giving this example. And it's the 18th of October, 2023. And the unicorn told me to trust my intuition. I'm going to write that write that with my pen on top, right? In my sacred journal. If you wanted to, then if it's on the same page or on the back. So sometimes I do it on the back and I'll write like, I did this meditation with the intention of shifting my fear of men or what, like, do you know what I mean? Because what happens, guys, is 10 years later, when you have your sacred journal, look, look, this is like literally the inside cover. I even like wrote stuff, and I think I had, yeah, this is a purple pen. So in, you know, in all my stationery buys, when I randomly find awesome stationery, I found like these are like a felt pen, but I found like literally a purple biros, like, you know, purple, like colored biros. It was the best for writing in. Okay, the thing with color, if you want to see clear intuition, if you want to see clear clairvoyant colors, use color. Because even if you didn't see it when you're meditating and you're like, oh, I did see purple, and you didn't realize, and it was actually like a purple unicorn. Sorry, it was actually a purple unicorn. Now, remember, I started off, sorry, I'm just going to move these straps. I started off this page just by coloring the whole thing in purple. And then when I started to try and draw a unicorn, in all the scribble of the purple, I started seeing the lines of the unicorn. Like those magic eye pictures. Do you guys remember that? Did you have that over the other side of the world when you're a kid and like they make you stare at it and you see? You've probably seen that stuff on social media at the moment. It's like squint and you'll see the thing. It's like it's your vision, right? So this, like, look. So I wrote here. So this is one of my courses that I took. Welcome, module 6.10, Resolving Resistance Meditation. The date, 7th of the 8th, 2015. So 7th of August, 2015. Because I would get, what is that? Because I would get something again and my crown was split open. I would get killed again. See, I was scared of stepping into my purpose. This is Releasing Resistance Meditation, which I've also got Releasing Resistance Meditation and Throat Chakra Consciousness. Because I would get killed again and my crown split open. So I remember that as I said it, literally like hit on the head with an axe. Being me is unacceptable. So I was doing the meditation to release that. I now choose my new belief, which I've written in the middle here. I now choose to accept my whole self. I am fully safe and fully protected and loved no matter what. And I felt like it. And the thing when you start doing these things is when you fill up a whole page, you're like with color, you're filling up your whole soul. You're filling up your aura, like you're replenishing your cup. When you have to do a border, like you can see I've done sort of a bit of a border on this. It's like boundaries protected. Like it's really significant, right? Now it doesn't have to be a piece of art, right? It doesn't. I didn't do that. The unicorn was like that. Now I've done a lot of practices. So for example, all I did on this one was a key and I wrote some things and I cut out some things that were important to me. This one here, accepting, what is it? Assisting clients with responsibility. Like the heading, a couple of words and a little heart. That's it. Right? So it doesn't have to be a whole work of art, but I want you to get into the habit of writing down. Sometimes I just write on pages, write messages. So sometimes I don't see colors or whatever, but I would need to write things down. Sometimes I even pause the meditation, like when I'm in it, if I'm getting all these downloads, I pause the meditation and I kind of, sort of, it's like a half dream, when we're trying to like remember our dream and we're like, don't wake up. It's like I pause the meditation, and that's why you have them close to you when you're meditating, okay? And I pause the meditation and I'm like writing, channeling, still meditating, like writing it all down. And then when it sort of stops, that's when I press play again and I keep going. Or I need to press pause again and I keep writing more. This is so important, okay? Okay, let me just see another example. So this as well, so you can see headings, color, writing, and then just this. Again, not a work of art, but kind of the more you do this stuff, the more your clairvoyance, like I did all this, like I've done this for 18 years, okay? But over time, like it gets better and better because you're seeing it. Do you know what I mean? Like you're seeing it, yeah? Yeah, I can't stress this enough. I'm like, have it close by you, have it close to you. Let me give you another example. So this one, right? So just like meditation, a little bit about it. Student goals is to finish the training, to be clear about my purpose and what I'm meant to be doing. And the symbol came through as a flower. I'm like, am I meant to be a flower? Whatever, right? I don't know. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means, but that's what I saw. The unicorn, okay, the unicorn gave me a message to trust my intuition. That's pretty straightforward. But this is the thing. We don't need to know what it means, right? So like Joe said in the beautiful example that I asked her if I could share it here, it's like, I hugged the crystal and then it went to the house and I didn't know what it meant and I drifted off and then I came back. I'm like, no, the crystal was healing that stuff, right? If we look at what crystal it was, it'll give you more insight. Like, all those sorts of symbols that you see start to add up. And when you start to write them down, you'll be like, it was a smoky quartz crystal. And then you're like, oh, I was clearing all the negative energy out. No wonder, like, because you know that smoky quartz crystals do that. Or if you don't know, you're going to Google what does smoky quartz crystal do, for example. And the more you do all these sort of like little research things, the more you're going to learn what they are. And so over time, you start to put all the pieces together without asking me, for example, right? Ask away. That's not what I mean. But do you understand? Like, this is how we start to get clear and accurate intuition, because when we take a moment, only needs to take a moment. Look, this one only needs to take a moment. I just draw a star thing. That's it. There was a bit of writing, but then I just drew a star. And the reason that I like writing and drawing something, and that's why I have these handy all the time, okay, is because I know the power of even though it doesn't seem like anything, but drawing with color, writing it down, drawing a little star. Like I said in this one, like I wasn't going to draw a unicorn. No, I was just drawing purple all over the page. And then I started and I was like, oh, unicorn. And then as I started to draw, like, just on those bits of lines, you start to see, and that's your clairvoyant seeing. And so you're seeing and you're practicing and it's strengthening. And because you just did that powerful meditation and cleared out the trauma, you're grounding it down. It takes, like, this is where the gold is, guys. Okay. Can't stress it enough. Hence why I'm still talking about it. So again, same thing, right? It was just like a bit of writing. That's where the missing key was, right? And I inserted the key, whatever that meant. Just things like that, like so important. Like just the color. I'm just gonna get my other book because this one was from was mainly from a course that I did, but this one, oh, and even this other powerful one, where is it? Got all my stuff everywhere because I'm in full creation mode that I don't really care that everything's just a mess. Right now, it's almost like comforting to me because I'm in the middle of it all. I don't actually know where it is. Oh, it is here. See, I did know where it was in my creative mess. So this one, see, another different journal that I've had for years. I think I was given this, oh, she didn't date it. This would have been like 2005 when I got this book. 2006 it would have been. 2003 I wrote this. Is that right? Oh, the 6th of the 3rd. No, I was going to say. This should be 2018. 2008, this is when I was pregnant. I was going through all the DV stuff. See, I just wrote in texters. Color therapy, sun. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, honestly, there's so much power in doing this. Fear of finishing my books. Fuck, this is in 2008. Then I didn't even write my book. I already wrote my book now in 2023. Fear of finishing my books as they have all been burnt in a past life. Hello. I was writing about the cycles of life and food. Spirit. Did I write this? Spirit takes human form and can leave the body at any time. They return to the spirit world and it comes from the earth. They create a human being, material body. Oh my God, do you guys want to see this? Look at this stuff, right? Spirit takes a human form. They can leave the body at any time. This is the earth. Return to the spirit world, return to the earth. Our material body creates the human body and this mind, spiritual mind. What? Okay, then. See, the more we do it and the more intricate your intuition shows you these things, right? I can't stress this enough. I'm just going to see if there's any more important examples. Um, this is so amazing. I'm like blowing my own mind here. So yeah, just lots of writing, lots of color. This looks special because I was trusting my intuition about leaving a DV situation when I was pregnant. All right, I just wanted to check this one because this one was important too. So this one here, similar stuff, but again, so simple. Writing and a bit of color. Like you could just write for sure, but if you've got color, I'm like fucking use it because it just like amplifies your third eye like so strongly. Yeah. And same thing again. So like this, for example, like open-mindedness, solar plexus becomes clear and aware of inner power, which is the solar plexus, and the energetics we feel oppressed from and why. And I just want to show you this because you can see it's like a bit of a vortex sort of coming down into the solar plexus. Now, I would have sort of felt that when I was sitting there receiving all that information. And the reason it's important to draw, like you don't have to do this, okay, but over time the more you do this the more you will see, and the more you start like drawing. You don't have, again, you're not an artist, okay, you're a 2-year-old toddler. If I can just put pen to paper, okay, you'll be surprised at what comes out, like the magical unicorn that just appears off the page telling you to trust your intuition. Like it kind of does look like a unicorn, especially from a distance, right? Up close you're like, what is that? Sort of, right? But you can see, yeah. So it's like the more you draw just what you see, doesn't matter, doesn't have to be anything. Over time, it'll become more intricate, it'll become more intricate, it'll become more intricate. All my paintings in my house have been from meditations. And I've got a few of them. I'm going to go grab one. This is really important for exactly what I'm talking about here. Hang on a second. You can still hear me probably because I've got my earphones in. This is so important. So, well, I'm assuming you can still hear me. I'll just wait to get back in case you can't. I'm pretty sure you can because I've got my earphones in for some reason today. Maybe because my daughter was talking to. Okay, so again, so important to always write what meditation it is and date it. Okay, that's also for an energetic owning it too, by the way. And then, so this one, again, like this came over time. I've been doing this for years. So this was 2013, 14, and I'd been doing this for nearly 10 years, 9 years I'd been doing this stuff, right? So again, over time, you will go better because I see it and I just paint it. Why? Because I've been doing this for 9 years by this stage, okay? Not saying you have to do this. I'm saying you might want to eventually. It's very healing. This one, you know, so for those of you who have got my my archangel journey, what did I call it? The archangel attunement. And it's 15 archangels, and we go through the 15 archangels, and the archangels step into you, and we literally channel the archangels. So this one came from Archangel Raziel, that I have a very intimate connection. I feel like I am Raziel in a way. Kind of. He's like, I feel the closest to him, if you may. He helps to translate spiritual esoteric information into human consciousness and understanding. So I feel like I've got a very close bond with him because that's what I do, right? I help people to translate and understand esoteric information and translate it to human consciousness. So I channeled this as like when it came through, like I just did, like, and it was just the, like, I guess clear quartz crystal. So, you know, that's just my, it's not the best 3D picture of a painting of a 3D crystal, but you can tell I just did it anyway. Okay. And because he is like the rainbow, so the rainbow at the top, rainbow at the bottom. Now I want you to see if you can see what I can see without me saying it. I don't know if you can see it properly, but I'm going to show you sort of a close-up of the top and then a close-up of the bottom. It is on the bottom. Can you see what I'm seeing in that bottom picture? Before I say anything, just want to give you a moment. I literally see a person laying down, like this is the head, This is maybe their chest and arms, maybe just holding like, you know, prayer hands or something on the thing. So this is like the eye, this is like the nose, this is the mouth, this is like the, I don't know, it's almost like got a, I don't know, not a hat, but you know, something so, do you know what I mean? And it's like this, like resting there and like the crystals above. I don't know if you guys can see that. I didn't paint that. I painted it, but I didn't paint that. I just painted the rainbow, right? And then the messages come through. So again, I'm doing the same thing, but on a big canvas. This is the essence of who you are. And in this is all the colors of the rainbow. They are all part of the essence. They are the essence. And that was Archangel Raziel's message. I am the divine power. I am the essence of source. Therefore, I am. I am connected to the source in a profound way. So again, signed and dated because you're anchoring it in, you're owning it. That was August 2013. But you can see it's like the face there. It's amazing things happen, right? And this was watercolor paint and acrylic as well. Watercolor paint's very powerful to, you know, sort of use those energies like that. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. Like I said, I'm not saying you have to paint, but it's very powerful too. But the main purpose of me showing this is your sacred journal is like literally how you are able to open your third eye. Okay, third eye. Look, this is a red dot, for goodness sake. Okay, all right, just let me check one more folder because there's just some really important messages and things in here that is just so important that I am covering these for you. Again, this is a very impromptu live stream, so I didn't have any of this prepared earlier. This is just doing it on the run. I just know that I have another, yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah. So again, this is coming from, so again, you can have your sacred journal, okay, as I always say. And then, as I said, I've always got 50 million notebooks and I always have this around. So this is just a folder, just keep it all organized. I don't keep every single one, but really significant ones I always definitely keep, and I'm always dating them. So again, this is just a sun, a big sun on a piece of paper, A4 piece of paper. And the message is to be understood and to be heard. Because I always felt shut down. Interesting, right? It's probably dated on the back there. And then another one, just a heart with similar streaks coming out. Feeling really vulnerable. I just want to be there for you. Feeling excited and free. What did I need to be open to love? My purpose is to understand the whole with compassion, and how to help the other parts is to see the light in them and each part more rapidly. And then this one, a little bit more intricate. This is like with gold paint. Like this is actually acrylic paint just on paper because, you know, why not? And this one is just a bit more intricate, but you can see I filled the whole page again, right? So whether you just draw a sun or a heart, or you fill the whole page, doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong, but it's interesting when you do certain processes, meditations, whatever, healing processes, interest, intuition. We do the clay, the watercolor paints. We do all of those. Why? Because they're so healing, and there's certain protocols that we do to clear specific traumas, all those sorts of things. And this is like really healing. And like I said, there's no wrong or right whether you fill the page or you're not. It's just interesting when you do certain processes that you do color in the whole page, and you do, you know, it's very nourishing to the soul. It's very nourishing to the aura as well. And it strengthens your energy field. So again, this one, you know, just a big heart like that. Alignment of values and integrity, authentic joy. So again, I usually write on the back of them what it is. This one, strengthening a connection to a higher power. 14th of June 2015. Yeah, so again, it's like, and I think around this time my daughter was a toddler, so we always had the paints readily available on the toddler table, so it was easy to grab paints like that. So I've done a lot of paints. Again, the sun. It's not like a piece of art, it's just what I felt called to do, right? The buffalo connected to the Pleiades. There we go. June 2016. I always love this one too. Like, this is pretty cool. Meditating, and like it's like the person, I don't know, meditating, and it all coming down through the crown. seeing what else. See, these are interesting too. So something like this, right? So this was letting go of anger. Letting go of anger. And it was like there was I think this was a base chakra when I did, I remember. Yeah, base chakra. It's not safe to be gentle. Like my gentleness gets trampled on, right? It's better to be tough. I'm not accepted when I'm vulnerable. I'm willing to change these beliefs and thought patterns. These don't serve me anymore for the person I am becoming. And it was literally like a plug. So I drew a plug with those oil pastels there, the crowns. You can get normal crowns, but the oil pastels have a different texture and they're really awesome to, you can see how I've done the red like I did the purple in there. Really good for coloring in easily. So it was like the plug that I needed to pull out. So I'm feeling shit scared. Needed safety and support, message to let go and live, and let go of the anger and my vulnerable self, my gentle self, and the part of me that loves. And it's like, it's okay to love. Interesting, yeah? It wasn't okay to love and show my vulnerable heart because it just gets trampled on. Like, it's funny, these beliefs and stuff we carry for so long. All right, just going to see if there's one last thing. And I'll just show you this. This is just like, it's not like all in this folder is all of these. This is like my Hannah folder, just of special things. And obviously I have some of those, what I just showed you in there, but I've also got my Tree of Life, the liquid crystal thing. What else have I got in here? An astrology chart that I don't know how to read. Everyone's like, what moon are you and stuff? I'm like, I don't fucking know, actually. So many people read my chart for me and it just kind of goes over my head. Don't ask me why. I love astrology, but yeah, trying to retain it, no. Like I got the orchid flowers in there. I had the posters up on my wall for a long time. Just things that are important to me, like the Ho'opono that I printed out probably back in 2006. So honestly, I love looking back on the dates like this, man. Like imagine, like when I'm old, 27th of July, 2006, like a must read. Like someone emailed me this. Thanks, Jeanette. And then this one as well, like just a sign thing that I printed out. Listen earnestly to anything your children want to tell you, no matter what. If you don't listen eagerly to the little stuff when they are little, they won't tell you the big stuff when they are big. Because to them, it's all big. Catherine M. Wallace, I love that one. And just things like this. I used to have these all over my wall when I was first spiritually awakened. So we've got Ganesh there, and who's that? Lakshmi, I think. Just things I love. I used to have a laminate. I used to laminate everything. Have them all on my wall. Beautiful. I don't know. Meditating. I think someone gave me a card. Ganesha everywhere for me. Of course, I have a mermaid and a dolphin on a card that, compassion exercise. This is my favorite. This was a card too. I think it was a Christmas card and I framed it. My liquid crystal star thing. And just other things. Oh, and then I've got affirmations in here that I used to print out on this beautiful paper. Like I used to print, so this is the Prosperity Affirmations by Louise Hay. Printed it out on beautiful dolphin paper and I used to have it on my wall and read it over and over again. Yeah, things like that. This one, the beautiful cat paper. You guys are getting cool insight to me. I use my affirmations wisely. Just stuff like that. Stuff that's important. I've got another birth chart in here. My purge document, and then I'm coming back to more of these drawings. Yeah, so you can see I'm sort of laying in a hammock, like looking after self, nurturing self. So it's so interesting, right? Like I just literally wrote a blog today about the self-love, really feeling anchored and buying myself flowers, and it didn't feel like any of that undertone of like, oh, I'm by myself, or like I've always have to buy my flowers myself, like I don't have anybody. Like there just wasn't that any at all when I bought my flowers recently. And like it's interesting now that I'm doing this live stream and like showing you all of this love. It's safe to open your heart, it's safe to nurture. Like, and this was back in 2015, and it's like, don't underestimate the power of like these things. Like I am lovable. Like how interesting. I was just doing all of this stuff. Freedom's important to me. Like, honestly, like, and just stuff that I love. Like that, I freaking love that picture as well. I guess just all things that are important to me in my heart and my soul. Things that I used to have on my wall, like, and I keep big, like these are affirmations. So I used to have them on my wall at my old house, actually. My cat's going to knock all of those books off. I do the most important tasks first. I am super intuitive and clear. I am queen of our earth. the reason I did it on big paper, because when I sit at my desk, when you have it on big paper, when you have something on big paper and you're looking at it subconsciously all the time, so I'm always on my computer, but subconsciously we always see stuff, and it's like, I do the most important tasks first. I am super intuitive and clear. I am queen of our earth. Wait till that one manifests. Hilarious. And my favorite. Dragon. Definitely favorite. Dawn, cut it out. Oh my god. Look what I just found. Transcendence is coming up very soon. We hold Transcendence every 9 months. Look what the fuck I just found. This is from Transcendence. The 12 platinum light, the 12 strand DNA activation platinum light codes. Would you guys buy this if I had printed them out? They're literally like to go on your wall. 12 strand DNA activation platinum codes. I'm willing to receive this higher frequency. I am done with the lower vibrations. I'm willing to release them, please. I'm willing to release the lower vibrations, and I'm willing to accept, receive, and activate through my system this high vibration of the highest platinum light and beyond. I open my heart. I'm willing to open my heart to the highest frequencies and vibrations and allow my heart energy to receive this through my whole body now. I leave that out. I forgot I had that. Oh my god, and this is the life purpose accelerator symbol. So these are like special things, right? But these are like things I guess I anchor in, because if we look at these are the life purpose accelerator inner circle symbols, it's like when you look at like the stuff that I have in here of all my things, and then everything I've just been showing you, like this is like who I am. So interesting, yeah. Oh look, see how like on this, so I did this on the front, right? It says, so the elephant was the animal spirit guide. It was a whole sphere and a star. And this was healing the abandonment wound on, almost exactly, 2021, 223. Almost exactly two years ago. It's the 18th of October right now. And I did this on the 8th of October in 2021. Oh my God. So healing the abandonment wound. Oh my God. So on the back, right? This is why it's so important. Because on random days, you find stuff and you're like, fuck, that was exactly 2 years ago. Do you know how significant that is? See, that's why I'm saying that writing this stuff down is so important. Because how many meditations do we do? Do we remember that 5 years later? Fuck no. This is why it's so important. So I wrote on the back in black pen, the abandonment wound looked like a tapeworm, parasite mouth, and interesting timing stepping out of a certain person's field, and then the demon left me too. Talk about taking power back. Do you see how powerful this is, guys? Fuck, I forgot about that. See, I didn't remember that. I feel safe, I can stand tall, and I can do this. See, I even just draw things randomly sometimes, like a big beautiful butterfly. I remember I did this because I wanted to. And I literally dated it and signed it 3rd of April 2023. I did that not long ago. Oh, my business. I did that not long ago. And so in the back of, see, I bought one specifically and I added, oops, sorry, there's still stuff sitting in the back. I added more of the clear plastic sheets in. That's why I've got a recent one in there, because this is where I keep them, because I have this close to me all the time. So when I'm got the urge and I do a meditation or something, so it comes in, right? Oh, look, this is my business. See, this is the process. I just thought of something. So in Trust Your Intuition, this is what I teach, right? And this is part of the processes, all right? There's lots of different processes for lots of different wounds, right? Just like in the 21-day quantum trauma shifter and the quantum, like we did the journey, right? Every meditation is a journey, and I specifically design these meditations, right? Of course, they channel through me, but they're designed specifically to go on a specific journey to unlock and heal certain things, rewrite, transform, and come back transform. Like that's the purpose of all my meditations, right? And so in Trust Intuition, there's specific processes, and in it, one of them is writing like, I wish to be free of. What is it that you wish to be free of? How interesting that this, right? I wish to be free of the energetic and physical entanglement between men, love, my business, and money and financial freedom. How did I like how fucking, oh my God, this is so significant. April. This was the eclipse. Oh my God. April, May, This was the eclipse. I remember this. I wish to be free of the like entanglement. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was like what men meant to be and what my business meant to me and what finances meant to me. All like I somehow along the line I created a belief that like I think I've said it in the past even men because I've been on my own, but also like building my business because like, you know, I don't know, several of my exes, my family, whatever, they're like, you know, well, I can't afford that for you, like my super yachts or whatever, right? And so to create all this shit and like I wasn't sharing it with them because I wanted them to buy it for me. I was always doing it myself, right? But and then so like I built my business and it was like, oh, you know, and I had all that space from my business. I mean, like from relationships and stuff while I built my business. And so like I know along the line I sort of created the belief that my business was my man. Like not in that way, but just in the like, you know, if we look at a masculine, it's support, it's structure, it's discipline, it's providing, it's like it's all the masculine things, right? And so for a business, that's what a business is. And so I really sort of, I don't know, maybe transferred that on. And then, you know, and this is like 2023, and I started this online business in 2016, but I've been doing this since 2005. But I on the fucking eclipse, oh my God, I wish to be free of the energetic, physical entanglement between men, love, my business, money, and financial freedom. Things that I had connected the dots with. Dad was never present. Okay, I'm sharing this with you. Obviously, this is important. Dad was never present, but always sent me money and presents. So I equate that to love. Always took me shopping. Does that equate to love? But then there was never enough money. Have to ask Nana, like, you know, his mum for money. How interesting, right? Can't rely on dad, a man. Always have to rely on Nana, a woman. Ooh, look at the beliefs, my little girl. Just like, fuck, I forgot. See how important this is to write down. I forgot that I fucking did this process just 6 months ago. I even wrote here, deep. Like, I was like, fuck, that was deep. Dad had back surgery when I was 7 to 8. Why was he in Perth? I never knew. I understand that. Why he was like, men always lied from Nana, even Dad's house. Cans, like the Nana, like Dad didn't own the house. It was Nana's house. Like, you know, it was like I untangled all these beliefs. This little girl had like mixed up. Oh my God, I fucking forgot about this. Right? So this was untangling the connection between men, love, my business, money, and financial freedom because of what I had learned as a kid growing up and what I experienced with men every single time since. Like that's just massive, right? Okay, just letting this unravel and feel, and I need to write 30 new beliefs. So when we do a process, if you want to heal on such a deep quantum level, we did the process, we do the process, and then we rewrite our beliefs around it. So I had all these beliefs around what it meant with men, money, finances, business, support, love, equations. Oh my God, you can feel the fucking entanglement, right? Oh my God. So then so then we write 30 new beliefs, right? I now believe that money, love, men, all separate, like, or whatever, right? Just so I can get clear on this, right? Now I choose to believe that financial freedom comes easily. I now believe that I can create financial freedom. I believe that men and women can create financial freedom, like whatever the things are, right? Like it is easy for me to create finances in my business. My business thrives whether I'm present with it or not. Like, you know, whatever the things are, but I'm writing 30 beliefs. Now I then, because I write really fast, so especially for the 30 new beliefs when I've done a process, is I write like I type them on the computer because you know how you can put the number bullets. So I just know I've done 30 and I just channel whatever comes through. If I get stuck, I've got a whole journal of ones that I've done over the years. I might as well show you that as well right now because that's really important. Now too, look at that. It's right here because I use it every fucking day. So again, just a file, journal, love. So because I like creating things like this. Journal love. Excuse me. all the affirmations that I've collected over the years. Oh, excuse me, from clearing out. I must be clearing out. Fucking forgot about this process. This is a really important process, and I'm going to tell you why at the very end. So ones that I've created for my Life Purpose Mentorship, for my Inner Circle clients, and then just like mentors that I've had, Louise Hay affirmations, ones that processes that I've done and created affirmations from. By the way, if you have my wealth activation codes, all the ones that I've created, you've got access to all of the new beliefs, like 30 new beliefs. So for example, I'm totally good enough now. I'm not my external results. I'm led by God, the universe, and what I'm being guided to do. I'm here to serve humanity. I'm of service by God's will. I'm pure, I'm innocent, I am not what other people think of me. I'm good enough regardless of whether my 250K months come in or not. I never did anything wrong and completely drop into the innocence and purity that I am now. So this is me anchoring in 250K months. And so I write 30 beliefs to support that, right? And like I said, I type them up and then I put them in here and then I put them here. But every day, right, for 30 days, you want to write this out. You really want to anchor a new reality in, write it. What did we say? Get that pen and paper out. Get that pen and paper out. Put your pen to the paper. So, by the way, so I've got, I've been showing you these ones, right? Sacred journal meditation ones. When I write my journal, like my affirmations every day, that's what these are for. So I've got heaps of these. Like I go through so many different books. Like you can actually get like, nice-ish. They're all nice, but you know what I mean. Like you can get nice-ish lined ones, like this is like lined ones, and like for example like this. Oh yeah, that's a note one, and I just got like writing all of that. Okay, I think my earbuds just died. Trusting you guys because I think it just fully died. If I just plug it in and then I know that it would have switched and you guys can still hear me, and if the audio is dropped, I'm trusting you'll tell me. So I've got nice notepads, right, that can journal in with lines. And again, I've done these, always date it. So this is recent-ish, 2022. But over time, and because I write so much, I love writing with ease. So these, I found these as a 3-pack and they're awesome because there's so many pieces of paper in there, and the lines are quite small. So I can write quite a lot in there. And yeah, and then same thing. So even when I did a process, right, I did it on a piece of paper because that was what handy, there's the thing. And it's like, because it was important with what I was processing and journaling in new beliefs that day. Yeah, this is why I just popped that in there. So because we've written out the 30 new beliefs from the process that it did, that I now keep in my sacred file because it was very significant, fucking huge, and I can't believe I forgot about that. And then every day for the next month or so, that's my work every day is I write this. So I get up and I have my morning coffee and I just write them word for word. And the thing is, when we write them word for word, I'm usually listening to music as well, because then when I listen to the music during the day, the subconscious remembers that I've anchored in those thoughts, right? So it's like double anchoring. When I really change your reality, this is how you do it. And so that becomes my work. Now, 30 days is awesome. 30 days is a lot when you're busy. Even if you just write like minimum 10 or set a timer for 10 minutes, quick, go. How many can you write? And then just come back, or that night, do it twice a day or whatever. If you've got time to do it, awesome. Like if you've got space and time in your life at this point in time when you're doing this work, do it. Like over the years when I've had like big gaps of no clients, or I don't know, whatever's not really happening in my life and I've got lots of space, like my work is that. Like for example, when I started my business online in 2016, I wasn't very busy. I was just starting. I fucking had so much time during the day. But for like 5 hours a day, I was journaling how busy I would be one day. And, here I am, $1 million company later and really fucking busy. Creative mess everywhere. And this stuff works, right? Okay, is there anything else I need to share about this? Do you guys have any questions? I should make a calendar, yeah. That could be something in the future. Oh, I love it. Oh my God, imagine making a transcendence calendar. A 9-month transcendence calendar. Okay, well this live stream just went for quite a lot longer than I expected, but it's a really important message. And I'm going to share this video in like all my trainings because like this stuff of how we anchor in this stuff is so important. Just so important. Okay. I think I'm done. I'm going to pull a card just to finish this because that was really special. But, you know I just gave, like, I went in really deep then. I went in really deep around really how we shift our reality, and like all those steps are really important. But I don't expect you to do all the steps, but now you have all the steps, okay? But the most important thing, the most important thing right now is that your sacred journal, get whatever's easiest. Like I said, like, I've got an office set up, so it's really easy for me to have all the things, okay? Even if you're traveling and you only have, oopsies, like these, like this is, I just love this because number one, I can hang it up, really easy to get. Also, if I'm traveling, really easy to take if I need stuff like that. And then, again, it doesn't have to be hard. Like these are just colored pens. Do you know what I mean? Like just keep it simple. I need to go and eat. I just almost knocked my water over. Keep it simple. But keep it handy and keep it simple though, okay? Like I said, it's like, it's power, and like, honestly, I'm actually really amazed and grateful that well, of course I kept it because that's what I do, but fuck, I'm finding it at this point in time after the eclipse, like from eclipse to eclipse, like what are the chances? Come on. Come on. Exactly 2 years ago? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. My battery's going flat. My AirPods are going flat. I'm going for an hour. Almost knocked my water over, but you get the point, okay? But like I said, most important thing is you'll start to really decipher your intuition as you like do this over time. And the more you do it, the easier you'll get at deciphering it, and the more you listen to me and you keep going through like my courses and my meditations and my live streams and whatever, like you'll just pick up all these bits and I'll be like, oh, and then one day it'll just be like ding, and then you'll just piece it all together all the time, okay? But if you really want clear, accurate intuition, that you see colors, that you start to put all the pieces together and you become so acutely clear, honestly, this is the piece that people miss. Yeah, and it is so, so potent. So go and find some beautiful sacred journals. And like I said, it doesn't even have to be that. Like literally this was like, I think it was like even like $6 or something from like the stationery, like the big Officeworks or whatever. And there was like a 3-pack of them, and I knew that I'd love them because like the paper, the lines are thin. There's so much of it, and I can, like, I've got space when I write, like it's nice and flat. Like I don't know, it's got a thing. Okay. I love you guys. See you soon with clear, accurate, really amazing intuition, and I can't wait to hear how you go.